again, just to remind everyone, we're having a very special designers talks today. So with Aman being in Kosta right now, he was able to go through and tour the hot shop. So we're really excited about that. We know a lot of you have always kind of had some questions and wondered how things were made and blown and who all of the amazing glass blowers are that work there. So it's going to be very exciting to see everything kind of in the works and just the realness factor that goes on when you are creating some of our very wonderful pieces.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I was so happy to be able to, after 2 years of being in Sweden, in the United States, in New York, to finally be able to be back in the production and see it live and to be able to share it with all of you. We are very excited about this.
Good, good. Are they still experiencing a heat wave there in Kosta?
Until I came, because it started to rain today. So it was like 90 degrees yesterday, and today it's still warm and humid. It's like 91% humidity here in Kosta today. Of course, it's raining, and it's going to be raining for 1 more week. So everyone, normally you're a little bit sad when it's raining, but everyone is happy it's raining, so we don't get any wildfires or and also everything becomes much greener when it's been raining for a couple of days.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So just again to remind everybody, you can ask questions throughout the chat. We have the Q&A function, which is down below in the toolbar. And also if you just want to chat us privately, you can do that. Still waiting maybe for a few more attendees here. We're looking good though. Very exciting. And yeah, then we can get started.
Yeah, I think, yeah. So Erin, you give the key when you want us to start.
Okay. Well, I do still have a few minutes on my video, it seems. So I don't know, Man, if you kind of want to just start leading us into everything about what we'll be seeing or what'll be going on and setting it up that way.
Definitely. The video is going to be, I hope the sound is going to be good. And in the end, if we still feel like we have some questions, or maybe we didn't hear a part, because it's quite loud in the production. So we did our best with the microphone to really pick up the sound of what I was trying to say, explain. So if you have any questions, if you didn't hear something, just ask the question and try to refer to what you didn't hear. Like, for example, I didn't hear what you said when they were blowing the martini glass, for example, and we were trying to help answer those questions in the end. No, but I'm very excited because like we receive every week or almost every month we receive questions on how do you produce a glass. And to be honest, when I started this company 8.5 years ago, I did not know that you create a glass from sand. I did not know that. So I was very surprised when I saw, and I'm going to be showing that in the video, when I saw that this sand in this big bucket is what becomes a crystal glass. So that was a very big aha moment for me, but also that the glass was so shiny and beautiful without doing anything to it. I thought someone like polished the glass. No, when it comes out from the oven, it's shiny like crazy and it's so beautiful. So I'm very happy to be able to show that. And then also we're going to show one of our, there's not a lot of people that know that we produce a gear knob or gear shift for Volvo cars. So we're going to get a glimpse into that. It's very secret. We cannot show too much about that. If you want to see this end product, you can always Google Volvo cars Force and you will see the gear knob. But that is very exciting to be able to show you a small behind the scene with that production. So yeah, so I'm very excited about this video and hope that everyone that is here today will feel that they get a better picture and understanding on the efforts and the craftsmanship and the hard work behind each product. And I hope that everyone feel like they learned something today also about the glass industry. And I've been, for the last 1.5 to 2 years, I wasn't able to travel to Sweden really. because of the pandemic. But before that, for 7 years, I went to the production once a month to see this live. And every time I went here, 7 years, every month, 1 to 2 times a month, I always was as stunned as the first time I went into the production. So I hope that you were going to get a small glimpse of that feeling. Or how are we with the video? Is it you're going to give me the
Few minutes.
2
Sorry,
more minutes?
technology we're
Okay.
downloading.
No. Okay.
Question for you. So, like, how long has the hot shop, been there? Just so everybody understands how old it is.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about that a little bit in the video, but it's been here since 1742. But it's a good question. So we started the first oven here in Kosta in 1742. So we are one of the oldest companies in Sweden that are still active, and we're also one of the oldest still active glass factories. There are some that are older than us, of course, in Europe, and I'm talking about Europe. But we're definitely one of the oldest. So that is something that we're very proud of. And one thing that I didn't mention in the video is that the craftsmen and craftswomen that work in the production, that many of them have worked here, or their family has worked here for 7 generations. So if you go around here and talk with people, you're going to see that the average age is a little bit higher. But the most fantastic thing with that is that the older you get, the better you get producing glass. So we're very happy about that. But when you talk with them, they will tell you that their father or their mother or their grandfather, all of them worked at this production. So 7 generations of glass blowers worked underneath this roof that we're going to show you today. And we're going to meet one guy today. Unfortunately, he didn't speak English, so I did a short translate, but he's been in the company for over 45 years. And for every month, every month more or less now, we're getting a lot of people that have been, go for retirement. They've been here for 50 years, 45 years, 40 years. So a lot of people, start working here when they were like 15, 16 back in the days.
Okay.
So that's very. So I think 1 more minute, and I think we're going to be ready for the video where we share. So just when you're ready.
So I'm going to start sharing my screen. And again, if you have any questions along the way, you can send them in. We'll still be seeing those, and we can answer everything once the video is done. So we hope that you all enjoy. And if the volume or anything is a problem, maybe raise your hand or chat us and let us know, and we'll try and adjust that. Okay, so let me know if you see my screen, and we're going to get started.
It's an honor to present the Kosta Glass Factory, founded in 1742. What you are seeing right now is the heart, is our production, and that is what we are, the deepest of the deepest, our soul. All of this that you can see in this material is where it's a small village called Kosta, and that's also where we have our production. So we have around a little bit more than 100 people working directly with the production. And on top of that, we have additional maybe 50, 70 people working in our outlet stores, in our office, in our product development, marketing department, and artists and designers. So yeah, this is where it happens. Enjoy. This is our sand room in Kosta, Sweden. It's about 5-hour drive south of Stockholm, or 3-hour from Copenhagen in Denmark. This is where everything starts, with the sand. We produce our sand here in Sweden. We're one of Europe's biggest manufacturer of glass pallets or glass sand. So this is what you see in front of you when you have a glass from Orrefors. Let's walk over here with me. And if we walk over here, you can see that we use circular glass. So if we have a product, so this should be a Volvo gear shift. So if we have glass that is not in perfect shape, have bubbles, doesn't pass the QNC, the quality control, we will put it here and we will reuse it. So we try not to send any kind of clear glass for waste. Everything is reused, recycled, so we have a lot of circular glass. And that also helps us to produce sustainable glass, because by using already preheated glass like this, that is not sand anymore, it uses less energy to produce a wine glass. So we love when we see this, to be able to reuse it. Okay, so now I want us to go into the production and see where the magic is happening. So let's walk with me. Okay. I'm so happy to be back here in the production, and yeah, let's see now where we produce the Volvo gear shift. Follow me. So what we do here is you have the oven just in front of you over there, and then if you come closer here, you will see where we produce the crystal gear shift, and we put it down in a mold, and from there we walk over and we preheat or polish the glass with fire. So, and that happens over here. But for secret reasons, we cannot show you exactly how the gear shift is produced. It's one of the safe, most protected productions that we have. But we will show you a lot of other productions. So let's walk with me this way. Hej Hans, hur är det?
Jo, det är bra.
Det är bra. Vad händer idag för dig?
Ja, idag slipar jag knoppar i botten som ska limmas.
Och vad är det för knoppar?
Ja, det är Volvo-knoppar.
Volvo-knoppar?
Ja, nummer 3
Ja.
kallar vi den.
Nummer 3 kallas den för. Och det här är ett rätt hemligt projekt, eller hur?
Ja, det är det ju.
Ja, så vi kan egentligen inte filma för nära eller något sånt där?
Nej.
Det är synd, men vi kan ju prata lite om det. Och hur många år har du jobbat här?
Jag har jobbat inom glas här
Ja.
i 45 år.
45 år. Så hur gammal var du när du började?
16 år.
16 år?
Ja. Så jag har slipat i 16 år.
Ja, det är roligt. Men vad kul. Låt oss få se vad det är du gör här då. Ja, kul. So the machine is going to start now, and what he just told me, his name is Hans, and he's been working in the glass industry for he's been working for Orrefors first, and then he moved over to Kosta Boda, to the Kosta glass factory here, and he's been in the industry or with us for 45 years. 45 years of glass cutting. He started working when he was 16 years old. What he's going to show us today is the last part of the Volvo gear shift number 3. It's called number 3. This is, as we said before, this is a little bit secret project. We cannot show too much with the legal agreement we have with Volvo, but we will show you a little bit with distance how the product became from super hot to become and start looking like this. So what happened here is you want to take off the last part, the bottom of the gear knob, and that is done in this machine. Yeah, that's it. Så kanske vi kan filma bara när han står där. So before we go into the cutting machine, it looks like this, quite sharp, and then we want to end it by looking like this. So from this to this. So that's what's happening here. Okay, so yeah, so this is where we have the production of the Volvo gear shift. We deliver a lot of thousands of the gear shift. But I want to show you where we produce our barware, stemware. So let's walk with me down into the production. So this factory was founded in 1742. That's one of Sweden's oldest companies, and it's that is still active, and we are one of Europe's oldest glass factories too. So that's quite fun. So let's walk and see the production of the New Friends by Ernst Billgren. And here, this is where we produce the New Friends glasses by Ernst Billgren, one of the biggest artists in Sweden. It's a beautiful double of fashion with a small bear, white bear inside of it. So how do we get this bear into the glass so you can see it and drink it? This is a beautiful craftsmanship glass. This is one of the best glass you can find out there. So follow me and let's see how it's done. So let's go. So here you can see I think if you can go closer. Roland, jag tänker att du kan gå in och filma här. Okay. So what we do here is everything is done by hand. So we produce the small bear in a small mold, and then after that we add the nose, the eyes, all the details that make it a bear and come alive. And that's what he's sitting right now and doing. So let's check that out. So what he's applying to create the eyes is handmade, it's glass sticks that has been pre-made. So first you have to produce those small glass sticks, and then you can add them to the face to become the nose and the ears. So what we're doing now, we're preparing the base, the base of the small bear that we're going to put into the glass, and we want to cover it with a little bit of glass so you don't, just have that protected, sealed in, and that is happening right now as we speak. And then the next step after this is to blow the actual glass that you're going to drink from. So now we prepare it in the mold. It's a very simple mold for the shape. The excitement is happening with the animal inside of the glass, and in the back of me right here, they're prepping the glass on the on the table, and now we're blowing the glass, and then we go down in the mold like we do a regular glass. But the thing now will be that the bottom of the glass will cover the whole bear, so you have that protection in between. So that's quite nice, so you don't stir up the bear in any way. And then you have a perfect glass. That's how we produce the New Friends collection. Thank you. I want to show you the most sold glass that we have. And I want to show you how we produce the glass. And the collection is called Intermezzo, and it's been made here for over 25 years. And let's follow me and I'll show you. And the unique thing with Intermezzo is that we invented the way of producing the glass with the blue stem. You might have seen it in Sex and the City. Samantha used to have it in her apartment in New York, and it's been popular ever since. Follow me and you will see the steps. Jag väntar bara in. So we start by catching up some glass, and you have to know exactly the right amount, because all of the glass that you take up are going to become the glass. And if you take too much glass, the glass will be very thick. If you take too little glass, you will get a very thin glass. And so the key here is to have the exact, correct, right amount of glass. After you have taken glass from the oven, the next step with a special technique that unfortunately we cannot show you, because that is a technique that is secret also. There's a lot of secrets here in the Kosta. And it's to get the color into the stem of the glass. And then next step is to go down into the mold. Here you can see how you blow the glass. Sorry, how you then blow the glass, then you go down into the mold, and you get the base shape of the glass. And then, after that step, that's when you put in the color. And that unfortunately we cannot show. But what we can show is the step after that. So follow me over here and I'll show you. Det är bra. Kul att se dig. So what we can see here is how after we have filled up the glass with some color, how we pull out the stem. And what's make Orforce very unique in the world is that all of our glasses have a pulled stem. So you will never feel, you know, that attachment or that it's a 2-part or 3-part glass. You will have a perfect, nice one-piece glass with no edges, and that's very unique for Orforce. In the machine, you will see how the machine holds the stem. Until recently, we did this by hand. After that step, we have to add the foot to the glass, and that's what's happened here today. So give it a couple of seconds and you will see how we add the foot to the glass manually, and that's very impressive. And it's all about timing. Like, every member of this team works together. They communicate without communicating. They talk, they see, they move, and they know exactly when to come with the right amount of glass. Because you don't want to come with glass that is too cold or too warm. So what we see here now is exactly that. So we are adding the glass last part to the foot, and then we are shaping the foot on the glass. And in the end of the day, when we're done here, we have a glass that looks like this. And this is not very nice to drink from. So let's go to the next step and see what happens after this. So that was the Intermezzo collection, how we produced that collection. I'm very happy and pleased to be able to show you that. And that is the #1 collection glass that we have internationally. So the Intermezzo Martini glass is the most sold glass in the collection. And I want to show you now what's happened after the warm side. So this is what we call the cold side. And I want to show you how the glass goes from looking like this, that would be quite unpleasant to drink from, to finally look like this, with this shape. So how do we do that? And that happens here. So what happens is, like, when we have blown the glass, we have always a person that picks up the 2 glasses at a time and put it in the cooling oven. It's not especially cold, it's quite hot in there, but it goes slowly down in temperature. And why do we do this? And it takes around 4 hours to go through the cooling oven, because to temper the glass a little bit and make it extra durable. So after 4.5 hours, it still looks like this, like the glass we last saw when we left the hot shop. And yeah, still not that pleasant to drink from. So what we do here is inspect each glass. We have already inspected them a couple of times out there, but we inspect them once more time here against this bright light. We look for any kind of damages, if there are any not beautiful lines, if there are any bubbles. And it's okay to be 1 or 2 bubbles, that's okay. But we don't want to have 3 bubbles, or we don't want to have bubbles in the where the eyesight, in the perfect top of the glass. Only because of aesthetic. There's no safety thing connected to it. We just look to the bubble, they look unique. And every glass is handmade, so you will never find a blue drop that looks exactly the same. And that's the thing, every glass is unique. So you can see here, one blue drop is very long and high, and one is a little bit shorter, and that's okay. After that, after we're going through this, we're going to see here if we have any glass that have any damages on them. We can't see anything right now. So here, if you look in, you can see this is many hours of production coming out here. And we look through every glass, and then the glasses that are accepted ends up on this stand, ends up here. And the glasses that have any kind of damage, it could be a crack, that we're going to throw that down for remelting. Or if it's only a few bubbles, a little bit too many bubbles, like let's say 3 bubbles, we will sell that glasses in our outlet store as second edition, or we call it outlet store glasses. So if you buy one of those glasses, it's a little bit cheaper, but you will not have the sticker, you will not have the back stamp and everything like that, comes, and the packaging that comes in with buying a proper glass. Let's walk to the next step. Follow me. Okay, so after the inspection over there, the glasses ends up here. So this is the glasses that have been pre-approved, but that doesn't mean they make it all the way. So after this, we put all of the glasses over here to go through the cutting part of the of the production. And still, this doesn't mean, because we see all of the glasses, that they will make it. So they will go through a lot of hands and a lot of inspections before they end up in your hand. So let's follow me and I'll show you where the next step happens. So the next step of producing a stemware, any kind of stemware, is this beautiful machine. So, as I showed you before, every glass that comes out from the oven, that has this part on the top that we don't want to have. You don't want to drink a glass of wine with this kind of top. So what we do here is that we put the glass into the machine upside down, and then we use a small diamond cutter to make a small edge around the glass. And after that, the next step is to just blow some air on the glass to hopefully get the top to sink down and drop down into this. And the same here, all of this glass that you see, we don't throw it to waste. We reheat it and put it back in the oven. So when it's done, it can look like this and then it goes to waste. Or it should look like this. And this is an accepted and beautiful glass, but still it's quite sharp edges on the glass. This is not that pleasant yet to drink from. So what we do here, and by the way, this collection is a collection that we do exclusively only for Tiffany. So here we inspect the glass one more time. So now it's a lot of inspections going on. So gone, not there anymore. A little bit scared. I am every day. I'm here. So we inspect the glass one more time. We don't want to have any hard edges. But now we're only looking for if it's too sharp. And then we put it into a regular dishwasher machine. We wash the glasses off from any kind of waste or small glass particles. And after that, if you follow me. Comes out from the dishwasher, air dried, washed and cleaned. And then the next step is to make the rim as beautiful that Orpashons make them. Roland, vill du filma och ha en till vinkel här? Vill du ha en till kameravinkel när vi går igenom här?
Nej, vi kan klippa här om du vill.
Ska vi fortsätta?
Jo, det går bra. Jag har bara ljudet, är det okej?
Vill du gå lugnt nu så?
Jag kan följa dig nu om du vill. Men om du bryter här liksom och börjar om.
Ja.
Nej, vad det står liksom.
Ja. Jag fortsätter här nu bara.
Ja.
Okay. So what we're doing here now is to make that rim beautiful and what has really made Orpos stemware internationally famous. It's that soft, beautiful, thin glass. So walk with me. Now we're showing you this step. Of making the glass, and I will show you. Har vi ett glas som inte är... Okej. So when the glass comes from the dishwasher, it's been grounded quite rough, but quite nice, but still rough. So you will have a matte and quite edgy rim on the glass, and you don't want to have that. You want it to be
a beautiful, and it's very hard to see on the pictures. You want to have that soft and curved angle on the edge, on the rim. So what we do is the glasses go through this beautiful, it almost looks like the glasses are dancing. So they dance through this oven that uses fire to fire edge or polish the rim. And that's what makes Orpa glasses so beautiful. I'm going to give this glass back to you. Thank you. And then after this, the glasses go for final inspection. And that's where we make the decision if the glass will become a first edition or a second edition. If it becomes a second edition, it will end up in our outlet stores here in Sweden, where we sell them out for a little bit discounted price, because they might have some too many bubbles or something small, nothing big. Or if they go for final and it gets approved. So let's go through the next step and the final step. Okay. So this is where we do the final inspection, the final Q&C. So what we are doing here is we sit with no stress, relaxed. We go through each glass by hand, and we check for bubbles. We check if the stem or the foot is too big, too small, if something could have happened throughout the production that's not already been picked up through all of the inspections. So also if the glass has in any way colored in any weird way or any kind of differences, we will take out from here. And if the glass becomes a perfect first edition glass, it will receive a sticker that is silver. Yeah, here. So in this case, it's a Tiffany glass. So it will get a transparent sticker with the print in black. And if it doesn't get approved as a second edition, it will get a white base sticker with black print. So the difference is the base. So this is a transparent sticker and this is a white sticker. So if you receive a white sticker, we don't have them in the US, only in our outlet store in Sweden. That means that the glass has not been approved as a first edition. And this is a way for us to be a little bit more sustainable. Instead of just throwing that out, we think as long as the glass, you can still drink from it, there's no risk that the glass will break or anything, we are selling it as a second edition. So people travel all over Sweden, even from Germany, Denmark, from a lot of different countries on summertime to come here, and they just fill up their cars and buy glasses for themselves, for maybe children's wedding gift, anniversary gift, retirement gift. A lot of people travel here and buy a lot of glass. So this is where the final inspection happens. And if you walk with me, you will see when they are approved, they will be sent down to these guys. And over here is the last part where we do the actual boxing of the glass in a Kosta Boda or an Orrefors box, depending on what brand they are producing that day. So here that happens, and very simple, wrapping the glass up, putting it in a box, sending it down the line, and then to end up in a box. And follow me and I'll show you the absolute last step of the packaging. A couple of years ago when I started, we did not have this kind of machine. So this machine helps us to shrink wrap 5 or 6 at a time. So it makes it a little bit more efficient. We also have a machine that helps us to put together the packaging. And then it comes down here, and in the end, it comes out shrink wrapped 4 in this case. And we just take this box with the label and put it on the pallet. And then it's down to our warehouse. So if we count all of the people that have touched the glass before it ends up here, it's around, I would say, 12 people. And then the last person to touch it from our side is the warehouse staff, and they will pack it in a pallet. So that's the 13th person. So 13 people touch the glass before it leaves us. So I hope you have enjoyed this run through of how we produce our barware and stemware. And this was the part one, we can say that. And later on this year, we're planning for a part two, where we will show more of the Kosta Boda and the cutting. We're going to meet some of the designers in their own environment when they're sketching, and we're going to see through how we produce art glass, because art glass is also a very big part of Kosta Boda and also Oriforce history. So thank you for joining us today. It's been a pleasure to show you around the facility and the production. I hope you have enjoyed it. Thank you.
So that was really exciting to see. I hope that everybody watching enjoyed as much as I did, and hopefully as much as Aman enjoyed, giving the tour.
Yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed it. It was a pleasure. I hope the video was not too. For me, it was a little bit roaming, or what I call it. Like, it was a little bit slow, but I think that as with our other videos, we will send out the link with where you will be able to watch them. So you'll be able to download the video, see the video on our website after this. So very soon, Aaron would send an email out to everyone that have attended with the link on where to find the videos on our website, so you can go back. Maybe you have some questions you want to go back. Maybe you didn't hear something that I said, and you can, of course, watch the video. So I think please use the Q&A if you have any questions.
We do have one question that just came in, from Britt David. She's asking, where does the sand come from? It's so beautiful and uniform.
Okay, so the sand, we produce our sand ourselves, but the raw sand material is different parts in it. But the raw sand is from Belgium, so that's where the sand comes from, because their sand is one of the world's highest quality in sand, and but also that back in days we used Swedish sand. But the problem with Swedish sand is where we are located is a lot of iron in the glass, in the sand. So the glass becomes more green. So if you go back a lot of years, like let's say, almost 100 years, we were doing a lot of like medicine jars. They were in crystal, and a lot of things for kitchens and etc. And most of the time you made that in the color of amber, if you remember old amber glass. And that wasn't a problem to have Swedish sand in it. Because the glass became very green because of the iron. So now we are buying the best quality in the world, and with the less amount of iron is in Belgium.
To know.
And then uniform, I don't understand that question, to be honest. What was that with?
Just how it all pure and the same.
So it's a mix. So it doesn't look like that when so it's literally real sand that more or less that we buy, and then we have a company. So many doesn't know that, but Oriforce Kosta owns a company in Sweden that is one of Europe's biggest manufacturer of glass sand. So we get raw sand, and then we mix it with different recipes that we to create, the special crystal sand that we want for us. And then other glass factories that maybe use more machines, they want to have a more, other type of glass. They want to have even higher temperatures. Then there's other factories that only do sculptures. They mold sculptures. They need a little bit, sand that doesn't have to be as high of temperature, because they want to get the temperature down very fast, because they are doing like thick, big sculptures. So it really depends how you're going to use it, what you're going to produce, and then there are different levels of to have that pure clear crystal.
Very good. Got in another question from Elizabeth O'Hara asking, do you train people to blow glass? So how would you say the workers that work there learn their skills?
Yeah, so great question too. Thank you. So back in the days, there were glass schools around the area of where we are. We also had two of our own glass schools, where a lot of people, when they graduated from middle school, and then they went to the schools that we were running. So they were around 15 years old, 16 when they started there and graduated when they were like 18. It was like a 2-year line. Unfortunately, with the industry, glass industry have had a quite rough time for many years. The schools in Sweden has dropped down significantly, so there are not as many schools left. There are like maybe 1 or 2 left now. But today we are really, so we're looking for, because the demand has never been as strong as it's been for the last couple of years. So now we have a little bit of a challenge here, because a lot of people are getting up in age, are retiring, and we are not able to get people into the glass. So we are having some of a challenge. But I was very happy because I've been gone now for almost 1.5 years from Sweden. And when I went into the factory today, I saw a lot of new young people coming in, learning, and to answer the question, learning by doing. So the best way to learn today is to be in the hot shop. So there is a system where you start by, the only thing you're doing is when the glass blowers have blown the glass, your job is only to pick up the glass and put them into that oven, the cooling oven. And that's where you start. And you maybe do that for 6 months. And then on your breaks and in the middle, you train to blow glass and to understand how much glass to pick up. And then you work yourself up and learning by doing. So they're still getting the same paid, everyone, even if you're just picking up the glass and putting it in the oven. But that's how you learn. So it's literally learning by doing. And then one day you're blowing glasses.
Now, I was told that there's actually an American that's working in the factory now. Did you hear that as well?
Yes, but I can't. There are more than one American, but also we have people from all over the place. Like people from Slovenia, we have people from UK. So there's a lot of different nationalities and that speak different languages. Some of them only speak English, even if they're here. So and people are so proud and so great at what they're doing. I think we're going to try to. Our goal today was to have a live streaming from the production, but we weren't able. That's why we did a video instead, because of some IT technologies difficulties that we had. But our ambition and goal for next part 2 is to have a live, to really get that real feeling from the people, because they are extremely funny and very open to share their knowledge.
So again, just someone commented on the on-site training as being a lost art, and thrilled to see that it's still practiced in our hot shops, which is wonderful. You don't see that clearly at all much anymore. Another question came in from Britt David. How do you keep the hot shop cool for the workers with all the furnaces?
So there are, you couldn't see it today, but the roof is, we control it. So the manager that is the manager for the hot shop, and he sits there, just his office is in the hot shop. So and he see all of the temperatures on one of his computers. So we just open up the roof. So we pick up the we open up the roof. We will also pick up heat that goes out from the factory, and that is used to heat the small village of Kosta. So we get cold air in and we pick up the warm air slipping out to heat up the small village. It's around 800 people living here. So that's one of the energy. So we're trying to reuse all of the heat, but it's quite, I would say it's quite windy, to be honest, because we have a lot of the doors open and we have quite strong ventilation. But the best thing always, like today, when it's raining a little bit and it's a bit windy, it just open up the roof and let some of the overheat go out.
Now, I think in part of the video, you could see actual tours happening. How often do tours take place in the hot shop? And, is it open all the time for outsiders?
Yeah, I think if you would talk with the main owner of the company, he would like to have the production open, 365 days a year, but we let people go for vacation and for Christmas vacation and summer vacation, but more or less all year long you can come for a guided tour. Normally our production is always, like, the door is always open, normal hours, from 8, even from early in that, because they start working at so that's also an answer on the heat question. The production people, they start working in the production at 6:30 every day, And that also has to do from back in the days, if you go back like 50 years, because by starting very early, they wouldn't get too many of the sun hours. Because both to get the heat from the ovens and from the sun was too hot. And back in the days, you go back 50, 60 years, you don't have that, electronic, you can take out the air and open up the roof and stuff like that. So they started very early. So we asked all of the glass workers if they would like to work, from 8 to 5 or 8 to 4. And they said, no, we are so used to this, so don't change that. And we accepted that. But normally the production is open every day for guided tours. And also you don't have to do a guided tour. You can just walk in and look at production and walk out for no entrance. The entrance is free. But because of COVID, we now have that you have to pre-book. We just have limited people coming in production. It's more controlled, but hopefully by the fall or maybe beginning of next year, we will be back to normal.
Very good. Now, how many pieces of stemware would you say could be made in a day? So we saw sort of the start to an intermezzo piece. How many glasses from beginning to end could be made?
I would say that we can produce, like when they do a regular, now intermezzo with the blue color, that you lose a little bit of time there. But if you do a regular stem, like the Tiffany glass that we saw in the end, I would say that we are able to produce between 70 to 90 glasses an hour per team. So one team that you saw today, they will produce between 70 to 90 glasses, depending on what glass it is. It doesn't mean that all of the glasses will be, first edition, or I don't know if you have a better word in English for first edition, but that's what they will produce. So I'm very impressed, and it looks easy when they do this. I have tried, and believe me, it did not look like a glass. It was something else, waste maybe. Yeah. So that's interesting. So please, if you have any more questions, feel free to use in the bottom of the screen. There's a Q&A button, or the chat. Just ask a question. What else? Like I said in the video, in the part 2, we're going to show more of the paint jobs that we do, because a lot of the sculptures, or like the Nobel glasses, and many other glasses on Kosta is hand painted. So we're going to show more of that, hand painted production. We're going to show more. We're going to show our the art in cutting glass and big sculptures, and all of the things that happen with bigger pieces. And then finally, we're going to show our art gallery with the big exhibition that we have with Lina Bergström. They're celebrating 25 years in the company. So she has a celebration or anniversary exhibition opening up in October. So we will have that after that. So I'm very, and hopefully we will do it live. So that's going to be, I'm excited about that.
We did just get another question in. How many people total work in the hot shops?
Around 100 people, I would say around 100 people. A little bit more. Is that, and one very funny thing, like definitely not, but in the midst of pandemic and everything that's happened in the world, the demand for better quality and a lot of people have been in their homes and seeing and maybe understood, like, okay, I'm not so satisfied with my glass, or I want to have a new expression or new feeling in my home. So we are very happy to say that for the first time in many years, we are lighting up one more oven. So we are hiring one more team. So that's between 6 to 7 people in one team. So we're going to have 8 ovens. We saw 2 today, but we're going to have 8 ovens in total. And we're hiring more people in, if you hire more glass blowers, you need to hire more people in the QC department, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that's very fun.
And thank you, Britt, for the question. A question, do the ovens, you said you'll have a total of 8. Does each oven work for different pieces? Like, do you have some ovens that are specific for the art glass and the larger sculptures, and then some that are specific for the stemware? Or are they all the same size? Or
no, that's a very good question. So no, they are not the same. So we have some of the ovens teams. The people that work here, they always work in the same team, get up the best efficiency. And it's like a dance. People know exactly the timing, when to come with the bay, when the foot, all of that. So it's literally like a dance, and you have to be in sync with your teammates. We have one that only focus on art glass. We have any type of art glass. Then we have one that only focus on vertical lean art glass, because that is a lot of, he molds sand cast, and he came up with the sand casting technique many years ago. And so he has his special team that works only for him. Then we have a couple of ovens that works with, I think it's two maybe, that work only doing gear shifts, gear knobs for Volvo. And then the rest, they are stemware / barware, and etc. Type of teams. And the first one I mentioned that do sculpture, they also do, like, if we have like Celeste candlesticks and stuff like that, they do everything that is not a barware or stemware.
Okay, very good.
Okay, good.
And we just got some feedback. And again, we love doing these talks with all of you, and we thank you for joining us. We know this one was a little earlier than some of our others, but we just got some feedback. This talk has given me a new appreciation for all of the steps involved in creating these beautiful Aurifers pieces, as well as the skill from these artisans. So we're really happy to hear that. And it was part of the reason we wanted to do this special, kind of designer talks with Aman actually being there in the hot shop. And, I know I'm excited for the second part of this. And hopefully, like Aman said, if sound and all of that, the quality and all works out, it can actually be more live and involved with some of the designers maybe popping in, and the painters and all of that. So we're really excited.
Very excited. So I think more or less, I think we are in time, and I think this is it. So if you don't have any more questions right now, I just want to say thank you so much from Erin, me, or Kosta Boda, for taking up your time to join us today. I hope you enjoyed the video, even if it was sometimes a little bit hard to hear it, but we will make sure that to upload it on our website. So feel free to see it whenever you can. And if you have any questions when you see the video or after, we do have an email that is designerstalks with an S, designerstalks@orifors.us. So please send emails to that, or if you want to email Erin directly, erin@orifors.us, or me, Iman, only first name, @orifors.us. So yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you all. Wait, last thing, let's see. Thank you, and look forward to part 2. Have a great day. Stay safe.
Okay, have a good day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.